Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. This edition is hosted by Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel and this is Streaming News Network. We begin with our first report. Lawyers for former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Anthony Fauci have established a legal defense fund as he faces a growing number of investigations tied to his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fauci, who is 85, has denied wrongdoing. His attorneys say the retired federal official is facing an unprecedented legal challenge and needs substantial resources to respond to investigations in several states. Former President Joe Biden granted Fauci a preemptive pardon in January 2025. However, that pardon does not prevent investigations or legal proceedings that fall outside its protection. Republican Senator Rand Paul has repeatedly called for investigations into Fauci and has accused him of contributing to pandemic-related decisions. Fauci recently invoked his constitutional protection against self-incrimination during a congressional hearing. Florida, West Virginia, and Louisiana officials are also pursuing inquiries. Florida's Attorney General has subpoenaed Fauci over questions surrounding his COVID-19 guidance and whether he personally benefited from it. Fauci's legal team says he will not receive money from the defense fund. The fund is independently managed, and any remaining money after the litigation ends will be donated to charity. The investigations continue as officials remain divided over the origins of COVID-19 and the government's pandemic response. This is Streaming News Network. President Donald Trump traveled to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on Friday to campaign for Darline Graham, the Republican candidate seeking the United States Senate seat previously held by her late brother, Lindsey Graham. The rally comes just days before Tuesday's Republican primary runoff, where Darline Graham faces United States Representative Ralph Norman. Trump defended Graham after she struggled during a recent debate to answer a question about the United States alliance with Taiwan. Graham openly acknowledged that national security was not an area in which she was well informed. Trump called her response an honest answer and said she would follow the wishes of the military and the president. Graham has emphasized issues including immigration, abortion, transgender rights, and affordability while presenting herself as a strong supporter of Trump's agenda. Trump also framed Tuesday's election as a test of loyalty to his Make America Great Again movement, repeatedly telling supporters that he was effectively on the ballot. Graham finished first in the August 11th Republican primary with nearly 33% of the vote, while Norman received about 25%. Neither candidate secured the majority required to win outright. The runoff could provide an early measure of Trump's political influence ahead of the November midterm elections, although South Carolina remains a strongly Republican state. This is Streaming News Network. A 25-year-old Alabama woman has avoided jail time after pleading no contest to charges stemming from an alleged attack on two elderly women in a Walmart parking lot in Panama City Beach, Florida. Court records show Allie Grace Barentine pleaded no contest to battery involving a person 65 or older, resisting an officer without violence, and disorderly conduct. Prosecutors dropped a second battery charge as part of the agreement. The judge placed Barentine on probation for 24 months rather than imposing a prison sentence. Police say the incident happened in March after Barentine allegedly became angry when a vehicle came too close to her while she was walking through the parking lot. According to the police account, she allegedly punched the vehicle, grabbed one woman by the arm and necklace, and then grabbed another woman by the throat, scratched her near the eye and punched her in the face. Both women were reportedly about 65 or older. When officers arrived, police said Barentine appeared intoxicated and admitted consuming alcohol and cannabis. Authorities also accused her of resisting arrest. Police said she slipped out of one set of restraints and later removed another set of flex cuffs inside a patrol vehicle. Under the court agreement, Barentine must complete 100 hours of community service, undergo a mental health evaluation and treatment, avoid contact with the victim, and pay more than $1,000 in court costs and attorney fees. I'm Claude McDaniel reporting for Streaming News Network. This is Streaming News Network. Former Cleveland Browns star Nick Chubb has announced his retirement from the National Football League at age 30, ending an 8-season career that made him one of the league's most respected running backs. Chubb made the announcement Friday through social media, saying he had known for some time that he would walk away from football. He said he wanted to finish his career healthy and coming off a winning season. The Georgia product was selected by Cleveland in the second round of the 2018 draft and became a four-time Pro Bowl selection after producing 4 consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons. His career was also marked by serious knee injuries. He suffered a major injury at Georgia in 2015 and later sustained another devastating knee injury with Cleveland in 2023. Chubb spent his final season with the Houston Texans before deciding his health and future beyond football were more important. He finished with 7,349 rushing yards and 54 rushing touchdowns in 100 career games. In his farewell message, Chubb offered advice to current players, emphasizing that life continues after football and that protecting your health is the greatest form of wealth. For a player whose career was defined by toughness and perseverance, Nick Chubb is walking away on his own terms. I'm Claude McDaniel reporting for Streaming News Network. This is Streaming News Network. Vice President JD Vance is facing criticism after blaming the Biden administration for much of the nation's record-setting $40 trillion debt. During a television appearance Thursday, Vance said the Trump administration inherited what he called a debt bomb from President Joe Biden. He argued that the central problem is that government debt has been increasing faster than the nation's economic growth. The national debt reached $40 trillion this week, after surpassing $38 trillion in October. However, the debt has increased under both Democratic and Republican administrations. During Biden's 4 years in office, the national debt increased by approximately $8.4 trillion. Under President Donald Trump, the debt has increased by approximately $11.6 trillion across his 2 terms so far. Vance said the administration has a plan to increase economic growth faster than the debt. He also pointed to what he described as a discrete plan being developed by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. But Vance's comments quickly drew criticism online, with opponents pointing to spending decisions made by the current administration and arguing that responsibility for the national debt extends across multiple presidents and both political parties. The debate comes as Washington faces renewed pressure over government spending, economic growth, and the long-term consequences of America's rapidly expanding national debt. This is Streaming News Network. Former University of Kentucky cheerleader Laken Snelling has pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter in the death of her newborn son. The 22-year-old entered her plea on August 21. She also pleaded guilty to abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and concealing the birth of an infant. During the hearing, Snelling became emotional while describing what happened after she unexpectedly gave birth. She told the court that she was under intense emotional stress, failed to seek help for the baby, and acknowledged that she deprived the infant of oxygen. Police discovered the newborn in August of 2025 after Snelling's roommates reportedly found the infant inside her off-campus residence. The baby had been wrapped in a towel and placed inside a trash bag that was hidden in a closet. The Kentucky medical examiner later determined that the infant had been born alive and listed the cause of death as asphyxia by undetermined means. Snelling was arrested days after the discovery, and a grand jury later added the first-degree manslaughter charge. Under the plea agreement, prosecutors are recommending 10 years for manslaughter and another 3 years for the remaining charges, for a total recommended sentence of 13 years. Snelling is scheduled to be sentenced on October 16. This is Streaming News Network. A Kentucky elementary school student was struck by a sport utility vehicle while walking toward a stopped school bus with its stop sign extended, police say. The crash happened Thursday morning in Georgetown, Kentucky. Authorities say 39-year-old Ashley Dawn Parsons was driving a black sport utility vehicle when she allegedly struck the child and continued driving without stopping to check on the student. Parsons now faces multiple charges, including aggravated driving under the influence, first-degree assault, leaving the scene of an accident or failing to provide assistance, reckless driving, and illegally passing a loading school bus. Police say the student was taken to a nearby hospital with injuries that were not considered life-threatening. Investigators quickly began searching for the vehicle and its driver. Police say assistance from community members and video captured by the school bus helped authorities identify Parsons, who was arrested later that same day. School officials confirmed that the child attends Southern Elementary School in Georgetown. Police are reminding drivers that a school bus displaying its stop sign and warning lights requires motorists to stop and allow children to safely enter or leave the bus. Authorities say a school bus stop should never become a dangerous place for a child. I'm Claude McDaniel reporting for Streaming News Network. This is Streaming News Network. New information is raising questions about security at Denver International Airport following the death of a man who entered an active runway area and was struck by a Frontier Airlines aircraft. 41-year-old Michael Mott reportedly climbed an 8-foot perimeter fence topped with barbed wire on May 8. Authorities say that just 2 minutes later, he was struck by Frontier Flight 4345 during takeoff. The medical examiner ruled the death a suicide. A new review of police records indicates Mott's case was part of a larger pattern. Officials say there have been at least 6 perimeter fence breaches at the airport since 2023. In previous incidents, people allegedly crashed vehicles through the airport fence, climbed onto restricted areas, or entered the airfield after jumping the barrier. Some reportedly had outstanding arrest warrants. Aviation security experts say the incidents do not necessarily mean the airport's security system is failing. They point to improved alarms, surveillance technology, employee training, and faster law enforcement response. One aviation expert noted that fences are designed to discourage unauthorized entry, but determined individuals may still find ways around them. Experts also caution that comparing Denver with other airports is difficult because there is no nationwide database tracking perimeter breaches and airports record these incidents differently. This is Streaming News Network. Actor Michael Wright, best known for playing Eddie King Jr. in the beloved film The 5 Heartbeats, has died at the age of 70. Wright's wife, Susan Wright, announced his death Friday, describing the loss of her husband as deeply painful. She said the family would provide more information about his life and legacy when they are ready. A cause of death has not been disclosed. Born in New York City in 1956, Wright began acting professionally in the late 1970s and built a career spanning nearly 5 decades. His breakthrough came with the 1983 film Streamers, for which he won the Volpe Cup for Best Actor at the Venice Film Festival. Wright later appeared in numerous movies and television programs, including the HBO series Oz and the crime drama Sugar Hill, where he starred alongside Wesley Snipes. But for generations of movie fans, Wright's most memorable role was Eddie King Jr. in The 5 Heartbeats, Robert Townsend's 1991 musical drama about a fictional rhythm and blues singing group. Although the movie had limited success when first released, it eventually became a cult classic. Following news of his death, tributes poured in from fans and fellow members of the entertainment community. Michael Wright leaves behind a legacy of memorable performances that will continue to introduce his work to new audiences. I am Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Thank you for watching and staying informed.
Thank you for viewing Streaming News Network videos, and also short and special reports. Please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified of additional reports.